I know that you speak about to your clients all the time is the fact that whenever we're in pain, especially with regards to our muscles, we feel like it's because we're not strong enough. And now we need to like lift more weights and do more squats and, build up our strength. And I had strength when I was younger, and it's all about that. And you've spoken completely like a 180 and saying that that's really not what the issue is.
No one is talking about this stuff. No one is looking at how the brain interacts with movement. For example, like if you say, hey, I got to go and lift my arm to do a thing, a cup of coffee, whatever, right? People think I got to strengthen the shoulder muscles and maybe my grip and my forearm. This is adding tension. But what about leveraging? Like what if you're sticking your chest out? So now your lumbar spine is arched, but we're told this is good posture, right? So now we're compressing the back of our spine. We're compressing on the facet joints on the vertebra, right? But we become so used to it, or we think this is good. And we're like, well, I have to do this. But you sense now your lower back, you have a finite amount of attention. If you sense certain things, you literally cannot sense other things,
right,
depending on how you manage things. And it's these sensations, these are kind of like sonar for the brain. It lets you know what is your body in space. And let's say, where is your clavicle, your collarbone with respect to your rib cage? Right? So it's like you have to have internal sonar and external sonar.
Right.
And it's putting that stuff together that allows people to reset their GPS and then finally come out of it saying, oh my God, I've never felt this way before. It's because you've never used this stuff before.
Now that we're all in quarantine, we're sitting at our desks constantly. And I personally go to school online as well. So I'm sitting at my desk for 40 hours for work and 100 hours for school. And then I'm sitting on the couch when I read or, when I watch TV, and then I'm laying in bed. But again, like I try to do these things where I can fit them in. But I can't be walking around all day, and I have calls back to back. So when people say, hey, stand up for 15 minutes every hour, unless I can take my call walking through my apartment, I don't have that opportunity, And, so what can we do to accommodate the fact that my back now is killing me because of all those things?
Sure. Well, first, we're going to see if we can show you a drill that you can do in between the sessions. And then if you can learn how to do this drill well enough, you can take the skills and apply them to you sitting down. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to need you to do is set up so that you're laying on your back, your hips are bent, and your knees are bent so they form a little tabletop. So you're about 90 degrees.
Okay. Without the bench, right?
With your heels on the bench.
Oh, heels on the bench. Okay.
Yes. It's going to be, can you see the computer for a second?
Yeah, I can see the computer.
You're going to look like, let me move my microphone, like this.
Okay. Yep.
Cool.
Got it.
All right. So feet together, knees together. I want you to relax everything. So I'm going to talk you through it, and then you're going to tell me what you feel. And Kitty. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, I want you to dig your heels into the bench, to the edge of the bench.
Okay.
I want you to dig them in so that you start to feel the back of your legs, your hamstrings. Okay. Are your abs on? Like, can you touch your abs and see if they're on right now?
They're not really on right now.
Perfect. Keep them that way. The only thing I want doing the work is your hamstrings. So dig your heels a little bit more, and you should start to feel your pelvis, your hips starting to want to rotate.
Rotate which way?
Like not arching so that your lower back is going to become even flatter on the ground.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so now you should feel more hamstrings closer to your hips and less towards your knees. Is that a positive?
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, so now pretend that's your tailbone, right? Your tailbone is like a sticker. And right now, by digging your heels into the bench, you are slowly starting to peel the bottom of your tailbone off the floor. The top of your tailbone should kind of stay on the floor. So increase the lift gently by digging your heels into the bench. Your hamstrings, at a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being cramping, where are they right now?
Like a 7.5.
Fantastic. Stay put. Okay. And 5, 4, relax your feet, but keep that position. 3, 2, okay, good. Relax. So now you're going to do 3 reps like that. Just because you know what to do, don't speed through them. Take about 5 or 6 seconds from the moment you start pressing into the bench to the moment you start peeling off your tailbone. So digging heels into the bench creates the movement of the tailbone because the hamstrings are attached nearby.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are your hamstrings. This is your pelvis, right?
Yeah.
You're here on the ground, right? So
Right.
hamstrings attach down here at the bottom. And what we're asking them to do, they attach here. So as you dig your heels over here, it's doing this.
Right. Okay.
So it's shifting it up. So if you're standing, most of us have like an anterior tilt, right? If you wear heels, this is accentuated. Hamstrings attach here. So what they do when you use them properly is they stabilize you.
Oh.
For me, it's like I realize that this stuff isn't common knowledge, but even like some of the stuff that I take for granted, I forget that people don't know. Like for me, it's understood that you should never stretch your hamstrings. Like this is just like water's wet, sky looks blue, but isn't really blue, right? These are facts. And then I forget that people don't know that. I'm like, well, if this blows your mind, we haven't even gotten any real stuff yet. And then you'll plug them together. What I want you to do is I want you to breathe out. I want you to sense the feeling of air constantly leaving either your nostrils or your mouth. Don't care which, your choice.
Okay.
But there's a caveat. You must exhale for 17 seconds straight. You are not allowed to inhale to continue your exhale.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So now we're going to look for 5 specific things. You've already looked at the first one. For a good exhale to be managed, remember we talked about the brain being able to sense certain things. You need to sense 5 things, give or take. Constant stream of air. Your sternum, your breastbone has to approach your spine. 3, your lower rib cage has to start to compress, like your lower ribs start to come together. 4, you're going to feel your abs on the sides of your torso start to contract. You're going to feel obliques. Last one, 5, you're going to start to feel increased pressure around your belly, kind of like a tire that's getting pumped full of pressure. Okay. You're looking for, I'll take 3 out of those 5. Okay. Your main goal, I know that's a lot to pay attention to, but your main goal will continue to be get all of the air out of your body. The other stuff, the second go round. Okay? Breathe in. Out. Halfway. Keep going. Keep going. Don't freak out. You're doing great. Keep going. 2, 1, breathe in.
Wow. I did not think I was going to make it.
Cool. Right. If we skipped ahead to this and I didn't challenge you to see, well, how good are you at sensing your body? Because I have people that can't feel hamstrings in that drill. And that drill is not the drill for them. I got to give them something else. Because this comes down to past, and it comes down to how can they manage sensory information. People that have had a lot of trauma, generally it's very hard for them to sense certain things.
So really, unless you master one section of the process and it becomes that muscle memory, you're not going to be able to stack on top of it.
Right. And it's the stacking that actually seals the deal. Because now if you lose either the breathing or the position of the body, then you are training your brain that this sequence is not viable to solve the problems of gravity and air pressure combined. Yeah, you can learn stuff, but the brain says, yeah, this is cool, but it's not solving the problem. So I'm going to go back to using your lower back and neck muscles to breathe.
Right. Appreciate your time. I know we're completely out of time, but I'm so glad we connected and definitely want to do this again. And maybe you could see like a video clip on how to do the floor exercise to make sure I'm doing it right.
Oh, I have that on YouTube. I'll shoot that over to you.
Perfect. That's great.
Awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.